Mate, we covered 3 states today.
Yeah, we did. And the thing that I took out of it is that the Brisbane Carnival's really starting to heat up.
Yeah.
That's all I really care about, let's be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And probably the feature race of the day, full credit to the sponsors of that race as well. But I think I've found one of the great get out of the casino bets of all time, and you'll actually be able to see that on my Ned's profile this weekend as well.
Yes, the Ned's profile is great, mate. If you want to follow us in, if you followed us in last week, you would have found a coupler, that's for sure. Maybe you find some more this week at some value, but if you don't want to do that, that's fine. But still, you can do everything else with the Ned's app. You can get weird and exotic as well with the Ned's same race multi. And, there's no one else I'd rather bet with heading into the Brisbane Winter Carnival.
Well, they also have a black book feature there, so you can black book ones for these prep runs into their grand finals. They have the futures markets there. You can do all that good stuff with the good people at Neds.
Damn right.
But what are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Mr. Brightside wins the Mont and wins again. Zardozi wins the Oaks for J-Mac. The photo finish. Mr. Brightside or Romantic Warrior.
The mare's going, great guns, Fangirl. Look at her go, Fangirl.
Imperatrice has got her. And raced on by Imperatrice by a length.
Overpass, more Baker's Delight in Perth.
Radina just won it, I'd say. Tom Ketton won the spring champion in a cakewalk.
Without a fight, won the Caulfield Cup.
Tell you what, it's a bit of regularly scheduled programming down in Adelaide, I would have thought. That has a little stench to that meeting, doesn't it?
Yeah. They do what they call that in the industry, a fall from grace. Oh, man.
Why is it a 3-week carnival?
It doesn't need to be at all.
I reckon they could, because there was a few like benchmark 64s and stuff last week. That push that dross to the side, make it like a 11 or 12 race card, and just have it all on there. Super Saturday at South Australia.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Or at the very least, have 2 week, and you have the Derby today on Saturday and the Sangster.
Yeah.
And if you want to have a quick backup out of the Sangster, sorry, the Goodwood. If you want to have a quick backup out of the Sangster, then you can run. And the same with the Oaks fillies.
Yeah.
Or you could just abolish the entire carnival, which I'm in favour of. But I tell you what, like I was speaking to the victim on Saturday afternoon post humus, and I was like, victim, something's off with you. What's going on? You almost look like you're changing your appearance. What's going on? And the victim's like, I'm turning into the mafia. Victim, 6 from 9, 2 placings and a 4th.
Outstanding.
In Adelaide.
Well done.
Would have been 7 with 2 placings if the victim didn't jump off Vibrant Sun.
Yeah. Strange decision by the
Strange
victim.
decision.
Such a good case that the victim made. Gave you some inside mail into that when you presented that on the show. And for some reason, like when I saw the victim's tips go up on the weekend, I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
That doesn't look like Vibrant Sun.
No.
Looks like a Paddy Payne Wings of Song, mate.
Yeah, idiotic. Just overthought things, the victim. Just read into his hype too much, I think.
Horse racing can do that from time to time, can't it? I'm a real big thinker on first thought, best thought type of guy.
Yeah, I actually have to probably pull myself back more often than not. Just be like, what was your first thought?
Yeah.
And what I've slowly come to, the realisation I've come to is what will annoy you the most if it wins? And probably have to back that.
I had that theory today at the Bull.
Did you?
I had one bet today.
Yeah.
It's our time.
Oh, he ran second, didn't he?
At 20s.
Because I didn't watch the race, but I just wanted to see how some things went, and I saw that Tuvalu won.
Yeah.
Coming up here.
Yeah.
Tuvalu. He's a horse who'd be great in a Stradbroke handicap.
Well, could think about it, go back to back with a new jockey on board.
Yes, Blake Shin.
Now,
he could definitely go back to back. Think about it.
Sammy Clipperton, is he unlucky?
Yeah, slightly unlucky. Like, you know, he rode the horse to a Kingsford Smith and a Stradbroke win and an Everest win. Been kicked off after a poor prep. But, with all due respect to, might have changed his name back to Jack Pride. Bro should have just been kept to the sprint distances.
So this is where I think it's, honestly, it just stinks of the connections, because who makes that decision, right? Is it the trainer or the connections?
Oh, I read an article which it seemed to be a bit of a joint decision. And credit to Joe Pride, he certainly didn't pull any punches. Like, he just said, "Yeah, look, we just felt that if we had the opportunity to get Blake Shin on, then we would."
Yeah.
So I think he's probably I'm assuming that the connections have probably come to him, and he said, "Look, to be honest, like, I'm with you."
Yeah.
Which
Okay. All right. So what's Sam Clipperton to do from these 3 runs in the autumn? 7 from 7. This is Barriers. Barriers 7 from 7 in the Canterbury Stakes. Barriers 16 of 18 in the George Ryder, where I think he ran 2nd or 3rd, maybe 5th.
Yeah, he ran outside the placings.
And then Barrier 13 of 19 in the Doncaster as the top weight. What is he meant to do? Like, if he targets towards a TJ Smith instead, right? Those barriers, I feel, they matter, but they don't matter as much for a horse that isn't proven at these distances, if you know what I mean. So I think he's hard done by.
Yeah.
What is he supposed to do from out there?
True. Hindsight's a beautiful thing. Think about it. Probably should have gone 2nd up into a TJ and then 3rd up into an all-aged. That's what he should have done. And that way, Joe Pride's like, okay, we've ticked the Group 1 1400 metre handicap box with the Stradbroke handicap, Let's see if he can do it at weight for age. Oh, cool. He can win at 1400 metres at weight for age. That's great. Maybe I'll try and grand final him in a mile race like the King Charlie, for example. Maybe that can be his grand final in the spring. Like, I don't know. Just hindsight's a beautiful thing. Try and stretch him out to the mile, but maybe not all. That's come really soon for think about it, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think
top weight in a Donny,
it's strange, isn't it?
And it was almost like it gave me Amelia's Jewel vibes with her spring campaign last year, where, we're going to bounce her out of the Toorak into a Golden Eagle. It's like, well, handicaps are great because, it's the great level up. And we always talk about beating the handicapper. And very often that's the horse that wins the race. You have to be so good to be weighted more than weight for age and win a handicap race. And I think about it, for his first ever prep at a mile, aiming at a Doncaster as a toppy. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just reeked from the get-go.
Yeah. Especially because he drew opposite to what he drew in the winter and the autumn.
Always had good draws. If he didn't draw that gate in the Everest, he wouldn't have won.
No. So, yeah, fascinating to see what they do for him. And it's, God, and this is the aura that the Cox Plate has, right? But as soon as you win like a big race, it's like, it's because he's so biased, you think, gee, he's won a Stradbroke, he's won a Kingston Smith, he's won an Everest. Gee, I reckon he could be a Cox Plate horse. Hold your horses, mate. Hold your horses. You've got a bloody good sprinter as it is.
Yeah.
You don't need a Cox Plate winner out of this thing.
No, he's a gelding. He's 5.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he race in the Everest for the next 3 years? That'd be good.
Mate, run top 3. Just take your paycheck and get out of the casino.
Get out of the casino.
I'll tell you what, I think I have the best get out of the casino bet of all time this weekend at Eagle Farm.
Shit.
It might actually be in the UNU recruitment victory stakes.
Is that a nice little... Oh. When you saw that?
I was like, huh?
Hang on a second.
What's going on here?
There could be a really good get out of the casino.
Now, obviously, we did not have a review podcast on Sunday. We had some personal issues come up, and that's our issue, not yours. So it was slightly your issue because, you didn't hear our incredible insight on the weekend of racing. But obviously the highlight of the racing over last week was the second of Portsea winning again on Anzac Day.
Clearly.
Like vibrant sun ashore. Who won the Sangster?
Climbing Star.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, before we get to the Portsea, that was the worst Group 1 call of all time.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Because I had to save on learning to fly. I'm like, I'm home here.
Yeah.
I was like, hang on, he's giving this thing on the inside absolutely nothing.
It's almost like Climbing Star and Benedetta didn't exist.
Yeah, I know.
Which was weird. But yeah, look, I think the Sangstar was a good race. Like, and I think there'll be some form coming out of it.
Well, if they were getting that wide on last week, I shudder to think where they're going in the Goodwood next week, let alone this week. That track, they need to rip that thing off. They need a good second track because Morphettville is just pounded into the earth every single week.
It is, yeah, it is.
And Oakbank's a bloody jumps track.
Yeah, what else have they got there?
I think that's... Well, they have the parks and the...
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they used to have another track and they sold it off or something like that because, SA government fucking sucks. But they do have Live Golf.
Mate, I was foaming at the mouth over that. That was so good. That was like one of the best sporting events I've ever watched. Like that playoff, because the South Africans, they gave it a nudge. They came home with a wet sail, but the Australian grit and the crowd just absolutely hosing the South Africans when they were standing over their ball. It's like, I've never seen it before in golf. It's like, it was so funny. And like one of the blokes like stood back, he's like, hey. And then the crowd was like, ooh.
Just the Australian crowds.
Oh, mate, it was so good.
Different breed, aren't they?
But the second of Portsea, first race, Sunshine Coast, Anzac Day.
Oh,
just comes from last on the rail. Bang. Full credit to Jack Bruce because he pulled the right rein.
He pulled the right rein to his credit. We were thinking, no, Saturday for sure. But carried the top weight pretty much. Came from last and just took the inside run and
wet track.
Yep.
I think Damien Thornton after the race as well said, even though I think it was only a soft track last time at Eagle Farm, or no, I think it might have been a heavy. Anyway, she didn't get through it and it was a shifty.
Yeah.
Eagle Farm at the moment is not really playing that well. I think there was like 7 double-figure winners on the weekend, which is
carnage.
Concern heading into the Winter Carnival. Definitely not what it was last year. It was beautiful.
It was beautiful, yeah.
So she didn't get through that shifty ground where it was like, she could get through that heavy where it was a bit more genuine, as the Sunshine Coast typically is.
Yes. So I think one more run next Wednesday, I believe, in a benchmark 70.
Yep.
Surely she'll RP that. Go to the paddock and come back. Sort of springtime off season up here and RP some more.
Yeah,
well placed,
extremely well placed.
3 from 5 with 2 fourths like that. That's what dreams are made of.
It is, because it certainly pays the bills. Tell you that.
Oh yeah, easily.
Now, any other highlights from last week? Not really.
Oh no, not particularly. I thought I was better.
Yeah,
I thought I was better, Benedetta. If she won, like you wouldn't have seen me. I would have had to retire. Honestly. But
well, shall we get into it this week?
Yeah, let's do it.
Well, I'm not surprised they haven't pushed the rail out that far because they didn't use the inside of the track at Morphettville. So the rail's only out 2 meters from the 1,200 meter post to the winning post, and it's true in the remainder. So because they were riding wide the entire circumference of the track, it is really just anyone's guess where they'll land. Now, the Adelaide Guineas is race 6 on the program, 1,600 metres listed, set weights. I have zero opinion in this race.
In the Guineas?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really have much of an opinion either. I like Stylish last start, a little filly by Lonhro. Race down in Mornington on that day and sort of was leading, but I don't think it liked leading too much, and just got beaten down the line by by dual pressure, and it was coming out of a maiden race. So, you know, it was a horse that showed a fair bit of improvement. It draws well here. It should go forward again. So if I was going to bet into the race, it'd probably be Stylish, I think. Should be there or thereabouts. But yeah, again, like if it's one of those days where you want to be sort of back of midfield and then fan to the like 10th lane and then run down the middle of the track, like she's probably not going to be a bet for me.
Yeah, Arkansas kids sort of areas. He had zero chance.
Well, that's the thing. Like that was the Skybird race, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The track set up perfectly for her.
Yeah. So, well.
Anyway.
Now, race 7, the Queen Elizabeth II Cup, 2,500 metres Group 3. First Immortals, $3 here. It's quite sharp at the top of the market here. You got the map at $2.40 with Neds. First Immortal, $3, and then Aberfeldy Boy at $3.80. And double figures the rest. I didn't mind Aberfeldy Boy here. I thought he's a stayer of note. When he gets out to these distances. He's had 2 tries. That was in the Victoria Derby and the the Adelaide Derby, whatever it's called, the South Australian Derby. And so he's got thirds behind Dunkell and Manzois at his 2 attempts. I think he's been crying out for this trip, and he's been very consistent this prep as well. I think this is definitely the target.
Yeah. Yeah, I was tossing up between Aberfeldy Boy and the map, the favourite. Like, she's a genuine stayer as well, and takes a while to get out to get to her best because she needs distances like this. She hasn't raced since the Adelaide Cup where she ran second there. So, the map for me, I don't mind in that race, but not confident. Like, that's a short price.
It is short.
First Immortal. Like,
I need to see it.
We need to see it from him, don't we?
Yeah, I really do. And
disappointing last 2 starts.
Like, if they're fanning like that, right? Like, how genuine is this track in terms of like, is it shifty? You know,
yeah.
I don't. To be honest, I'm not having any bets at this track.
Yeah,
like there's no point. I say that actually, but I do like one in the South Australian Derby, which is race 8 on the program, 2,500 metres Group 1 for the 3-year-old set weights. Did you happen to see Ahu Rihi?
Yes, I did. The St. Ledger, Anzac Day. And
she got absolutely pumped in.
Yep.
$6 into about $3. That was over 2,800 metres, drops back to 2,500 metres on a week and a half back up. She's a big price at $9.
She is. She's definitely one who's in my numbers. I'm just sticking with Bold Soul. Like, for me, it's just I thought he was impressive. He's the one you want to take out of that race. Yet he's $7. That's a very backable price for him.
Warmonger is $5.50, and sure, he ran home the quickest splits of the race, but like,
where's he going to be?
Like, he's going to be in the exact same position, isn't he?
He is, and the only pace in this race looks to be coming from probably Aerosol.
Yeah,
right, and the others on the inside will jump forward, but Aerosol can barely run out 2,000 metres, which tells me if he finds the front, he's going to try and stack them up.
Yeah,
which gives Warmonger, you know, next to no chance because he's going to be last. He was out of the frame last start. Whereas Bold Soul, I think, has got a bit more tactical speed to probably sit midfield, hopefully forward to midfield.
Yep.
So he's the one for me. Ahu Riri brained him over 2,800 metres, so 2,500 metres, you know, he's just going to eat that up. I'm not having her on top just because Philly in a derby, they just don't win very often, do they?
Kafila, the last filly to win the derby in South Australia, I feel. So that was only how long ago is that? However long ago. Now, I think I was looking through previous favourites. Now, this could have been the Oaks favourite, but I feel like it was the Derby favourite. I think Canenda went around favourite in a South Australia Derby back in the day. Probably the Oaks, but I think it might have been the Derby. Coco Sun on the quick backup. She was good. I just think I look at that Oaks race and I'm like, how did none of these run down Vibrant Sun? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like, she was a month between runs. She led, you know, on a track which wasn't helping leaders, and she wasn't going slow. Like, she was going at a pretty decent tempo. I feel like the likes of Wings of Sun, Coco Sun, you know, a couple others had probably every right to run her down, and they just didn't. So, I don't know. I feel like the form out of that, I'm sort of,
Big line through
that
it.
Oaks, I think so.
Yeah.
And I'm just dirty at myself with that Oaks. I don't know what to think about it. Horse that I didn't mind at odds, and this is his only his fourth run in the Derby here, is number 11, Just Brilliant by Justify. He ran second in the Bold Soul race. Mate, you rewatch that. Like, he's a big chestnut gelding. Like, just sort of ambles along. Bro has no idea what he's doing. Like, no clue whatsoever. Like, he sort of floated in the straight and he's like, okay, I guess I'll keep going. Ran past Air Assault, but didn't savage the line, I'd say. So I think this is going to come a bit too soon for Just Brilliant, but he's going to be in my numbers at $27. Like,
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
So that's how I'm sort of seeing the race. The only other form line of note, I think, is the Antrim Coast form. So that's Antrim Coast, Sunsets, Gold Wolf as well, who beat Antrim Coast, but Antrim Coast meets him at the, equal at the weights now. He gave him 2 kilos last start. Yeah. Like, that's form I was looking into as well. But Antrim Coast, bro's been up for – he's never slept. He's been up that long. And we saw with Orchestral, who he ran second to in the NZ Derby, they got to reach end of prep at some point.
Campionessa last week.
Yeah, they've got to reach the end of prep at some point.
Yeah, Lady Laguna. Like, that, it has to at some point. So,
If this was worth $500,000 like it was last year, it ain't running.
no, probably freshen up to coming to a Queensland Derby.
Yeah.
So that's probably the race that is suffering from the increase in prize money. But I feel like there's some astute trainers out there that go like, you know what? We'll probably do this horse. Look at who actually ran really well in a Queensland Derby and went on to win a Melbourne Cup. Vow and Declare.
Vow and Declare.
Ran second to Mr. Quickie, I believe.
Yes.
Corey Brown's last ever race on a racetrack.
Really?
That's when that horrific
Yeah.
fall happened.
Wow.
I remember I was standing next to Axe and he was like, oh. I was like, I know, mate. That was one of
Grim.
the worst. That was
Grim.
not good.
Grim.
Now, what about my old mate, Chad Ormsby, bringing over Out of Stock? Now, last raced on the 6th of April, won by 2.5 lengths and had the ultimate gear change.
Since then?
Yeah.
They just thought, you know what, like, really? Is this a commercial prospect?
Nah. He is a Tavistock. But, yeah, I thought he obviously, like, those New Zealand stayers can do some good. And I think the Sydney form, I think the source would be furious if I didn't mention this galloper, but he was gapped by Riff Rocket and Chill Wolf, but Glad You Think So only started to show some quickness in his legs when he got out to this sort of distance. So him, Blake Shinnon, he'll be a leader out there with
Air Assault. Yeah.
Air Assault and maybe where's Sunsets get? Sunsets goes forward as well.
Yeah.
So those three are probably your leaders. So yeah, if you're looking for one out in front, Glad You Think So might be the one. Now, I think that's all she wrote in South Australia, thank God.
Thank God.
Queensland's starting to heat up a bit.
God, yeah.
I think it might be time to go to the race 6, the Dalrello Stakes. 1,000 metres listed for the 2-year-old set weights. Now, Mashani Lily, she absolutely brained him last start.
She's actually just a little smarty, Mashani Lily.
She's no Mashani Hustler yet,
No.
but Mashani Hustler, you know, she's won 354K. Like she could topple the cash cow eventually.
Potentially, yeah, potentially. So, yeah, she's a little smarty, Mashani Lily, and would not be surprised if she wins this. She has been up for a while for a 2-year-old, though, so that's a bit of a risk. Do you want to keep an eye on Queensland Carnival for 2-year-olds? You know, who are the Sydney trainers who are good with 2-year-olds who send them up here? The Snowdens, for example. They've got Embassy here. And we know Embassy's got form around some of the elite 2-year-olds down in Sydney. So he hasn't run since the 24th of Feb. Had a couple of slick trials. Like he's not here to, you know, have a holiday. They want to get this guy to the JJ. So, you'd think so. So Embassy, I reckon's a play too.
Yeah. What about Waterhouse and Bott? They're usually pretty good.
They're the same as well, right?
Hippopotamus on board.
Yep.
Now this 2-year-old filly Madrina I'm talking about, number 10, barrier 6. The fence at Eagle Farm, it hasn't necessarily been the place to be of late. They've kind of like fanned out. So, and given this is a 2-year-old contest, they'll probably all have their chance.
Yeah.
Daughter of Street Boss, but she won her latest trial by 5.5 lengths. So she could just find the front as Waterhouse Bott horses do and just be over 1,000 metres, just be hard to catch.
Won both her trials. Like, yeah, she's in that same vein as Embassy. Like, they could just be a cut above.
They could be. Now, let's go to race 8, the UNU Recruitment Victory Stakes.
So funny.
1,200 metres, Group 2.
Yeah, Group 2, Spono.
Yeah.
And it's not an Adelaide Group 2. It's a genuine Group 2.
There's Group 1 winners in this field.
Yeah.
There's 2 of them.
And front page.
Yeah.
He's no slouch.
2 Kosciuszkos.
Yeah.
I think they scratched from another race to come here. So, this is a quality field.
Yeah.
Dylan Harris.
I might need to take that.
That's all right. You do you.
We'll come back. All right, where was I?
The UNU Recruitment Victory Stakes.
Now, I think this is one of the great get out of the casino bets of all time. Golden Mile.
You reckon?
I reckon. So, what's he done? He's had a little freshen up. 6 weeks from a gallant run in the George Ryder, only beaten slightly less than 2 lengths. Let's call it a flat 2 lengths. I love that. And whenever he hits a good track, he runs a really, really bold race. And I can just see the Godolphin Blue, because they can R&P up here.
Oh, they tend to. At big prices as well.
$12 for him. Like Barry 4, he's going to find the front. I think he's just going to be he's going to be really, really tough to run down. Like $12 is a big price. I'm more than happy to find out at that price.
See, I don't think he's going to hit the front. I think he's going to sit just off him, which is probably better.
Yeah.
He's not my top selection, but yeah, I thought he was a silly price. Golden Mile. I'm keen to take on Uncommon James.
Yeah. $2.60. That's short, isn't
really
it?
short. Like he could come out and brain them, but I don't know. I sort of want to see him. If he puts this field away, so be it. That's fine. Front page, he could definitely bounce back and win. But I think, although this isn't his jam, despite the fact he's 3 from 3 at 1,200 metres, I think Antino is going to come back a much better horse, and he's already been a great horse so far. I went and watched a couple of his replays last prep, and yeah, he nearly won a 2-rack, and he ran second to Prowess over a mile, and then failed over 1,800 metres in the 5 Diamonds. But I think he might be a genuine 1,400 metre horse, Antino. Like he ran on the same day as the Stradbroke, I think, over a 1,400 metre race as well, and like had a rating in that race that would have finished top 3 in the Stradbroke. So I think he's going to come back a really sharp horse, and there should be enough pace on in this race for him to probably be just alongside like your Golden Miles. And I'm just thinking he might be able to just go like a bomb and at $7. I'm happy to find out. And he's heading towards a Stradbroke, and he should be relatively well weighted in that because he hasn't won a Group 1.
He's ran second. He's won a Group 3 and a listed race. And he's run second in a Group 2 and a second in a Group 1. So,
like he's not going to be a featherweight in a Stradbroke, but you'd imagine he's probably going to have 54, 55 kilos.
Alligator Blood won a Group 1, and Think About It won a Group 1. So, and they had about 54-ish.
Yeah.
So he'd probably have about 53, I'd say. He's a life chance in that. I just had to Google to try and see if the weights are out. Couldn't find it this early. Wee Nessie is hitting a patch of form as well.
Yes, she is.
So Hippo on. Love to see that. You don't lose anything with him on.
No.
But, coming up against like this caliber, like I'm happy to take her on. I think Golden Mile's the forgotten horse, mate. I really do.
Well, you $12, like you're on a hiding to nothing, if you don't back that.
Yes.
Whereas I think you're on a hiding to nothing if you do back on Common James. I just don't know. You know when you see a favourite like that and you're just like, I'm looking for an angle.
And if he wins, I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
sure. And
okay.
I kind of get the price right because, he's been running against Asfura, who's going over to try her best over at Royal Ascot, and Imperatriz. Like, he's been in some pretty crash hot races, but like, I'm happy to take him on. He's been gapped in those too. So, now race 9. What a beautiful way to finish the Queensland Guineas.
They've got a knack for it, don't they?
1600 metre Group 2 set weights. I should have known that the likes of Ducasse and Kintyre and
just wanted to haunt you a little bit more.
Cafe Millennium. Man, we should go to the track this weekend to see Cafe.
Did you see how big he is?
Yeah. Oh, he's been gelded. There you go.
Has he?
Yes. And he only ran 4 weeks ago as well. There you go. Some during preparation geldings going
whiz.
on.
He could just come out and brain him.
It's barrier 17. Yeah, I don't know. He's a big horse. Probably needs his own room.
Gross.
$12. Ran second to... Who did he run second to? Third to a Celestial Legend in Militarize.
That's good form.
Yeah.
Really good form.
He just hasn't won in an age.
No.
Anyway.
No, he hasn't. I had no idea how to play this race, mate. Like, to be completely honest, I got out of the casino with Ducasse. I think Ducasse probably wants a wet deck, to be perfectly honest. And then you got the likes of Kintyre, who beat Tannhauser and others last start. Press Link, who I know you backed last start, he ran third. Could he bounce back here? Definitely. Transatlantic beat him last start. Port Lockroy's not an absolute mug. I don't know. I can't.
It's tough.
I can't fight. I don't have a clear idea on this race, mate.
So, Kira Can, I think we've seen these silks, R&P, the Queensland Derby. This horse got out to 2,100 metres at Eagle Farm in December. I reckon this could be one of Chris Waller's shouts, local shouts for the Derby this year. $61. So I'm keen to have a view on him, not necessarily bet on him here, but have a look at him towards a Derby. He'd want to accelerate pretty quick, but he could get there. But yeah, I'm not dropping off Presslink. I think he's very smart gelding. Ran home, I think, one of the quickest last 200 metres of the meeting and in that race. So, yeah, $7.50. Hopefully he can be a little bit closer. But, yeah.
No reason to jump off.
No. Now, there's a few good races at Hawkesbury this weekend.
There is.
Now, the rain is absolutely pissing down. Now, that's the southern coast?
Yes. Oh, north.
North coast.
Yeah.
The northern coast of New South Wales, right? Okay. Now, race 5 is the Hawkesbury Gold Rush, 1,100 metres listed. Now, there's a horse that we have been covering on this podcast for about 18 months. That is, we say she's not a 1,200 metre horse. She's a 1,000 metre horse and an 1,100 metre horse. And that's number 4, Parasol.
Mm-hmm.
She resumes here. She's 3 from 3 at the distance, shock me. And she has a sensational first up record. And her trials have been delicious.
Draws a gate.
Zach Lloyd on.
Draws a gate. Sits close by, like just behind the speed. That looks to be a fair bit of speed, I think.
She can get through, soft ground. It's probably not chips in because of that.
No, definitely not chips in.
But she's the on-top selection for me.
Yes, has to be. Has to be. The other threats in this race, Duel. Duel last start beat home Spacewalk. Remember that day? And I could never back her, but for Seal,
Yeah.
like she can win a race like this as well. So
Well, that was the first time she got on heavy ground and she really appreciated it. So it gets really sloppy. She might get two on the bounce.
100%.
And she's weighted really well, 53 kilos.
What about your guy Cannonball?
I need to see it from Cannonball. That was
nuts.
one of the great get out of the casinos of all time. $10, have a little something on, and he has not won since.
No.
He hasn't looked anywhere near it.
No.
So he might need the ultimate gear change. Cannonball.
I think so.
Like, it was ambitious taking him to Royal Ascot. I love it.
Oh, it's so ambitious. I think with these 4-year-olds who still have their nuts, like the jury's got to consistently be out with them.
Yeah.
Because it's like, come on, man. Like, come on. You need to be racing better.
Yeah. Like, who's he by a capitalist? So, yeah, I don't know. Man.
And that Parasol's the one.
Parasail's the one. Now, the Hawkesbury Crown is race 6, 1,300 metres, Group 3 for the fillies, mares, set weights and penalties. I have a big roughie here, big one. Number 3, Mirror View. She can pop her hoof out when she wants to. Sensational second up record. She was beaten 7 lengths at 100-1 last start. But if you look through her profile, she can get gapped first up, and then she just absolutely sprouts wings, and the heavy ground really suits her. So she did have a big gap between runs as well. So, but second up last prep, which was in May, she beat home Vienna Princess in Kazu. Like, that shapes up for a race like this. If she brings that form, she's in this up to her hindquarters. So I think Mirror View at $34 is a big price.
Yeah, massive price. She can definitely bounce back. What Shadows of Love done wrong?
She did the Quinella play.
Yeah.
Easily.
Definitely the Quinella play. And draws well here. And she drew a bit awkwardly last start. And I thought she was great running third. Had to carry a bit of weight too. So, yeah, Shadows of Love for me. That's the play. She's been racing super consistently.
I agree. I would agree with that analysis. Now, the Hawkesbury Guineas, we saw one Hawaii 5-0 absolutely brain them in this last year. And they saw that, and they're like, you know what? This guy could win a Stradbroke. And he ran extremely well.
He ran well.
1,400 metres, Group 3 for the 3-year-olds, set weights and penalties. What's Sneesby Racing saying about Snowman?
I think Snowman will probably be scratched from this race because he's also nominated for a benchmark 88 in Hawkesbury, which looks a lot easier.
Okay.
And I think he's drawn like gate 2 in that or something like that. So
yeah.
Expect him to be scratched.
Okay. Fascinating. But that horse has beaten Riff Rocket in a race.
He's beaten Riff Rocket, but they just need to get an easy kill for Snowman.
Yeah. Okay. Any firm opinions in this race?
Look, it's hard to. It's hard to. Razors is nominated for that race up in Brisbane as well. That you were looking at with Presslink.
Yes.
He has form around Gringotts, which I think is really good form, and ran second to Panic last start. So Razors is one I'm definitely looking at, but it's dual noms. So yeah, hard to have a firm opinion when the horse that you like might not even race. Panic is in this race though, and he's pretty lightly raced. He draws the car park though.
Yeah. Now, hard to really trust this form, but Conasana was very good.
Yep.
In the slot.
Yep.
She absolutely got through it. She's won on the soft as well, so she might appreciate these softer winter decks. Barrier 11, and she's $8. So
if the track gets really wet, that's an easy play.
Yeah, and out wide, Barrier 11 might actually be the place to be. But what do I know? Let's find out. Now, the Hawkesbury Gold Cup, 1,600 metres, Group 3 handicap. Is it Jack's Day?
If it's wet, absolutely. It could be Jack's Day. Yeah. He's not too poorly weighted in this race either.
No, he's not.
Look at some of the types in this race, mate.
I know.
El Bodegon.
Mount Popper.
Doesn't even have a jockey. Mount Popper, lol. Nugget.
Palmetto.
Just Folk.
Bold Mac.
Hit a Shock.
Just Folk.
Geez, he had shocks a big price.
Yeah. Like, is he a miler, though? Like, he's had 8 tries for 2 wins.
Yeah, but you're getting a price to find out, $23.
Yeah, I don't know. When did he find those wet tracks? Like, when did he win on a wet track? Oh, it was, a Echuca. That might have been the Echuca Cup that he won.
Does Madame Pomeroy finally get another win on the board? Wet deck. She's gone. She'll be on sale at one of the broodmare sales this year. So I don't think she's got many runs left in her. But wet deck, gate 1.
She's giving me the vibe of, because her last couple of preps, her first up runs have been sensational, but then she's just fallen off a cliff like at every start. So I'm kind of like, she's first up or nothing for me.
Yep.
Because she's just too inconsistent for a horse of that talent. I just can't entertain her at all.
Yep. Yeah, so Well as well. Well as well. But I think it could be Jack Stave. It's a wet deck. Like he's, when it gets to a mile, wet deck, he's just got a bit of a class edge on a lot of these, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, 59 kilos, not too poorly weighted.
Barrier 2, same barrier that he had in the Donny.
What's Moonamek done wrong?
Moonamek has done absolutely nothing wrong. He's probably hasn't raced as consistently as we'd probably have hoped. He's had a month off, which is unlike Moonamek.
Yeah, it is really unlike him.
But, has form on the soft and the heavy.
Yep.
He's not the worst 27-1 shot, but we've gone through half the field here.
Yeah, we really have.
So I think it's, who we haven't talked about? El Bodegon.
I mentioned El Bodegon. I was like, El Bodegon, lol.
Yeah. But he finds a heavy track, which he has good form on. Last time he was on heavy ground, he ran 3rd in the Cox Plate.
He did, and he still had his nuts then. The little fella. Yeah, it's just, if he wins, you're just like, okay. Like at 50s, you're like, okay, like whatever, man. You won't find me betting into him, that's for sure.
His last win was 131 weeks ago.
Holy dooly.
Yeah, that's some patient ownership.
Oh, God, yeah.
Very patient. I think that's all she wrote.
Yes. Here's all she wrote.
I can't wait to just have that sense of like accomplishment when Golden Mile just sticks his nose out and, shows what he can do when he was a 3-year-old. Because he absolutely brained In Secret one day.
Yep.
He has it in him.
He does. I would not be surprised if he won that race at all. Golden Mile. I just don't think he's a top-tier horse. But that's not a top-tier race.
So is Craig like giving over is there like a plate, the UNU Recruitment Victory Stakes plate or something?
I have literally no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
Because is he doing like the handshakes, like congratulations?
I assume he'd have to.
Knowing him, he probably has one in the race.
Yeah, he probably does. Yeah, it's just funny. I think there'll be a few more races throughout the carnival that are branded.
Love to see it.
So yeah, very funny.
Yeah.
I just can't escape horse racing.
No, you can't.
I really can't.
As if you want to.
No.
Yeah. So actually, are the futures markets out for the Queensland Carnival yet?
Yeah, there are a fair few futures markets out. Whether they are for the Queensland Carnival or not, I'm not 100% sure. But
let's have a quick look, right?
So squizzy.
So we have the Doomben 10,000, Doomben Cup, Kingston Smith, Queensland Derby, Queensland Oaks, and Stradbroke and JJ. So we might do a little futures market preview on this weekend.
I think so.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
Definitely worth it. Just looking at the Stradbroke market quickly.
All right, let's do that. I love a futures market. So Antino, $8 favourite. Magic Time, $8. Espiona, 10s. I Wish I Win, 10s. Sunshine in Paris, 10s. Amelia's Jewel, 11s. In Secret, 11s. V8, 11s. Amenable, 12s. Confirmed he's going there. Jolly Star, 13s. Pericles, 15s. Skybird, 15s. Stepardi, 15s. Think about it, 15s. And then like the likes of NCAP, Samana, Light Infantryman. What's Cool Volant done? Where's she at?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure.
Because the mile found her out. That Stradbroke could be her race.
It could be. Yeah, definitely not a market I could bet into at the moment with those prices. But tell you what, Gringotts at 26 isn't the worst.
Yeah.
Like, I know he's just won at Tamworth, but
That was the that was the Tamworth Cup.
yeah, 1,400 metre horse. Give him a bit of a freshen up. Put him into that.
Like him versus Jimmy Starr at $34. Like you'd take Gringotts every day of the week.
100%, and he's only missed the top 3 once in his career. So he's starting to build a profile of a horse that, you know, if he keeps building, wouldn't be the worst.
Yeah. Gentleman Roy. Haven't heard that horse's name for a while.
Yeah, I wonder where he's at.
I reckon he got injured.
Yeah. Not a Group 1 winner.
No. All right. So we'll look into that. We'll do some research because, you know, there's only so much that we can do off the cuff.
Yeah, 100%. But Brisbane Winter Carnival, mate. Like, there's plenty of juice, plenty of value.
Yeah, where dreams are made of.
100%. We'll find it.
Yeah.